Hey everybody, it's Greg from Park Journey. Hope you're all doing all right. So today, or well, I guess yesterday by the time you see this, we got an awesome tour of a couple of houses at Halloween Horror Nights in Hollywood. The Universal Monsters Unmasked house and Chucky Ultimate Kill Count. So John Murdy, creative director of Halloween Horror Nights, invited some social media bloggers and vloggers out to get a tour. Actually, it wasn't our tour. I was actually covering for Gabe from Theme Park Duo, but he's doing his thing with the audio that we got that I took today, and then I was going to do my own thing. So we kind of you're getting 2 for 1. So make sure that you check out Gabe's stuff today, Friday, the 1st of September, and then I'm going to be joining him on his podcast next week to talk about the tour and everything. But I kind of wanted to kind of share some pictures from the tours. No video was able to be taken, so just pictures, and then I'm going to kind of just walk through kind of what you're all seeing as we go through. So we're going to get right into it. Before I do, make sure you click below to subscribe to our channel, and that just reminded me of something. You'll see in this video, but that means Chuck is going to get me because there's some very meta stuff in that Chucky house. So we'll get into that. So we're going to start off with Universal Monsters Unmasked, and then we'll get into Chucky Ultimate Kill Count. Thanks for watching. We'll get right into it. All right, everybody, so let's start with Universal Monsters Unmasked. So actually we'll start with just a look at the area in the Curious George parking lot. There on the left is Chucky, and then the right is Universal Monsters. They are going to be doing projections up on the building this year as well. So here is the entry for Universal Monsters Unmasked. This is where Halloween was last year. So you can see the facade here is like a newsstand, a French newsstand. Obviously the newspapers are in English, just so we can actually read them. There's a lot of Easter eggs in here, according to John. There's John Murdy, our buddy. This is now probably the 4th or 5th tour we've done with him over the past, 12 years or so, 10-12 years. So definitely I love doing these tours. So here's some artwork in the maze, house, some title cards for each of the scenes. So it goes through kind of going through the catacombs. So basically when you enter the house, you are basically underground, so to speak, through the entire house. So if you've seen pictures of the catacombs in Paris, this is really kind of taken from that here, as you can see. And then the sign here, kind of a tribute to the sign that is in Paris as well, that John talked about during our tour today. And then as you go through the maze, obviously, Horror Night staple, you have your hanging bodies there and all kinds of fun stuff that you need to walk through as you're, transitioning from scene to scene, which is always fun. And then we get into the Phantom of the Opera, which is based on the real lake under the real Paris Opera House. So lots of really fantastic artwork and scene design. Here is, obviously John with the Phantom's organ. We have a Christine here. And then we get into the Hunchback of Notre Dame. A really great story with Esmeralda and Frollo here meeting maybe a timely death when it comes to Claude Frollo, and then a look at some of the really great props and things that they're going to be using. I'm sure you can pretty much tell what's going to be there. There'll be a person, and then the legs will be stretched. But just the props in this house were just absolutely fantastic from beginning to end. Really loved seeing them all. Some close-ups here of some of the torture chambers and things like that as well. And then kind of an overview of this particular room, and some rather large rooms in this house as well, which is great. And then here we've got a little bit of boiling oil in the cauldron here. So there's going to be lots of steam and smoke and stuff in this particular room. And then just obviously lots of doorways. And then we get into Dr. Jekyll here, and this is they've taken a little bit of creative license. The Dr. Jekyll is from Southern Asia, so the India, Pakistan area, which would have been common at that time as well. So they've trying to get a little bit more diverse with the houses and stuff, which is fantastic as far as I'm concerned. But you can see here just lots of really cool props in the house here. John explaining all of the potions, and there's going to be some really cool lighting effects in here as well, which I can't wait to see. With the show lighting, obviously when we do these tours, they're not show lighting. And then basically towards the end of the house, you get into kind of an underground club, so to speak. And I always love, whenever I do these tours with John, I always like to get a kind of iconic picture of him, and I love this picture of him just kind of talking with the group that was assembled. So Cabaret de la Mort. Here is the entrance. The lighting was a little weird with the sun peeking in, so we wasn't able to get a real good look at it. But you can see here they're drinking their absinthe here in the cafe, in the club. And then there'll be some entertainment up on the stage here where John is standing as we go through. We'll leave you with this really, really cool looking chandelier, which is apparently pretty accurate to a real one. Next, let's get into Chucky Ultimate Kill Count. So here is a look at the facade, which is full of Chucky dolls. But you'll see a couple of blank ones as well. There's going to be some video Chuckies, and there's about a 2-minute, introduction to the house, and then you're just greeted by Chucky. This house is very, very meta. This is somebody with a Universal Studios Express Pass, Horror Nights Express Pass, that Chucky is kind of coming after with a drill or with some needles. Lots of really cool Play Pals Chucky stuff. They actually went and got the the actual licensed stuff for all of these signs and things. So basically, the concept of this house is Chucky has taken over a haunted house. So Chucky is very aware that he's the only slasher that has never had his own house at Halloween Horror Nights. He's had the Terror Tram and the converted Universal monsters that used to be there, but he's never had his own house or maze at Halloween Horror Nights, and he's very aware, and he is very upset that he's never had one. So it sounds pretty awesome. If you've seen the Chucky show, there's a few scenes that are from the show, this one in particular from season 1. I don't think you need to know the show. We've been binge watching it, and we highly recommend the show. It's great. Here's a Chucky family photo here, which is just classic. I don't think you need to know the show, but there are some Easter eggs and some scenes from the show, this one as well, from season 1 as well. So I do recommend you watch the show. because it's I mean, it's Chucky. It's, you know, it's silly, it's fun. And then, but this maze is Chucky. There's no Tiffany. There's a couple of Tiffany dolls, but there's no Jennifer Tilly or anything voice. It's all Chucky. It's all Brad Dourif. He did come in and record some dialogue. But they also used some dialogue that he had recorded for the show. Here's another one of those meta moments with a video vlogger who has decided to live stream the house, and Chucky does not like that, which I just love because I would never live stream a house, and I love that they're going this route. And then this, we got to actually see this Chucky in action. Unfortunately, no video. We weren't able to take video, but got a couple of different poses in here. Here is a little bit more somebody in the house, and then Chucky, you know, whatever he just ejected into his face, he's enjoying a little too much. Here some paddles. So there's, I think they said there's about 18 animatronic Chuckies throughout the house, and then, you know, obviously there's actors too that are not Chucky but are, you know, the victims. I was pretty hyped for this house prior to this tour. This is probably my most hyped house now for Halloween Horror Nights Hollywood. I just cannot wait to get into this house. It's gonna be fun. It's gonna be Chucky. And then the last room basically is a history of Chucky dying, from Child's Play 1 all the way through, you know, Cult of Chucky, Bride of Chucky, the Chucky series. So it's basically all, here's how Chucky has died, and let me count the ways that Chucky has died. So melted Chucky, and scalped Chucky, and beheaded Chucky, and half Chucky, and burned, you know, Tiffany, and half-faced Chucky, and all this stuff. So it's really well done. I can't wait for you all to see it. And then obviously the kicker at the end of the house, giant Chucky, which is just going to be so much fun. I cannot wait. And then it does end with a grave of Charles Lee Ray. If you know the story, that's Chucky. He died in the first movie. All right, everybody, thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed that. I definitely enjoyed putting it all together for you. Definitely excited for Halloween Horror Nights Hollywood. We have our frequent fear passes. We are ready to go. We will be there opening night, and then we'll be there the first Sunday. We'll also have our survival guide that we put out every year. It seems to be a common thing these days. Everybody's putting in a survivor guide, but ours is going to be a blog post because we want you to be able to look at it when you're at the event. So I finally got some information today that I was waiting for, so I will be putting that together over the weekend, and then we'll have it for you first day next week. So we'll have an all-new survival guide for 2023. All right, everybody, thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the fog.